Well, good morning, everybody. It's 11 a.m. Welcome to the LuxeSF program. It's a pleasure to have you here today. It's always customary for us to acknowledge our sponsors and our hosts of the program. I'd like to introduce Rhonda Munoz, who's the Vice President and Mortgage Sales Manager for Northern California for HSBC Bank. I wanted Rhonda just to say a quick word or two today. With the mortgage rates going crazy right now, I wanted to get her quick take on what she's experiencing at HSBC. I think this morning was the 30-year was 5.87. Rhonda, any quick thoughts about that?
I thank you, Alf, and again, it's our honor to be a sponsor of this event, I think for all 7 years, which is great. So yeah, obviously the hot topic in the market right now is rates, right? I wish I had a crystal ball and I could solve everybody's problems, but hopefully I can give you a little bit of insight of kind of what's going on in a quick summary. Rates have gone up significantly. Obviously, we've got a lot of moving targets going on, obviously, in the economy right now. And one thing that typically will cause interest rates to go up is obviously inflation. That being said, we've seen the Feds have the largest increase last week of 3/4 of an increase in the prime rate, which the market had built that in from a mortgage rate perspective. We are seeing many customers obviously shift to adjustable rate mortgages and interest onlys, which, by the way, we do offer here at HSBC. We are a portfolio lender, so that allows us to be able to have that flexibility to offer those to customers. But a few things that we can kind of look forward to, and this week I happen to sit in on an economic call as well too, as we're hearing the rumblings of recession going on. A recession in general typically is favorable for mortgage interest rates. They normally will come down when we go into recession. So I think as we progress through third quarter, it could still be a little bit bumpy. We may still see rates kind of uptick a little bit because the Fed is expected to raise again in July and potentially even in September. But as we start to transition into recession, that will be a positive of where rates will ultimately go. And the one thing that I would also leave you with to take into consideration with your customers is this is just one snapshot of time. While rates are up, we're still having industry high volume, the third best year ever in the industry, and customers have the ability to refinance obviously when rates go down. So keep that in mind as we're moving forward with putting them in homes and in mortgages to achieve their purchasing options as well too. Back to you, Al.
Excellent. A couple of quick housekeeping items. We have everybody muted for sound and video with the exception of just the panel and myself. If for any reason you find yourself on the screen, please stop your video. These the people we have now are the only people that should be on. There is a chat button at the bottom of your screen. If you've got a specific question that you want to ask during the course of this program, just hit that chat button, pop the question in there. We'll normally pick it up and where appropriate, we'll respond. And the inevitable question I get from a lot of people is this program being recorded? Yes, it is. Within the next 48 hours, hopefully by tomorrow or Monday at the latest, we will send you a link to the recording. So if you have to leave at any point and you need to come back and you missed a portion of it, there will be a recording of it. So why today's program? So amidst all the doom and gloom and chaos that's out there, God, you can't even turn on the news anymore without getting depressed. It's a pleasure and a delight to have some good news and some positive vibes. So today we introduce the 2022 Rising Stars of Bay Area Real Estate, and we're going to talk to them about their motivation, their inspiration, their aspiration, and their determination, and how they're making it to the top. Because just so you know, we didn't just choose the Rising Stars at random. We went to the brokerages and we said, give us your rookies on the rise. Give us your star performers who are going to be the next leaders within your organization. And we went right to the brokerage heads when we asked that question. So these rising stars represent the rising rookies. They're agents with fewer than 5 years in the business. That was our sole criteria. And they're setting records and establishing reputations within their brokerages. Allow me to introduce them quickly. And as you hear your name, you might want to wave or something so people can find you. From England, Volkers, Lovan Chentdy. from Intero, Mahmoud Altoon. From Chase International in Tahoe, Ken Bednar. From the Grub Company in the East Bay, Lisa Chan Canazo. From Coldwell Banker Realty, Nick and Brandon Gummo. From Wine Country, W Real Estate, David Hargraves. From Corcoran Global Living, Ian Kalemba. From Sotheby's International Realty, Aviva Kammler. From Compass, Bailey Parpazian. Also from Compass, Kevin Swanigan. And from Vanguard Properties, Selena Zhao. Panelists, welcome to you all. And you look fantastic. Let me throw a question to everybody. I'm going to start with you, Aviva. You're at the top left-hand corner of my screen. Same question to everybody. Brief, please. Give us tell us a little bit about yourself, your brokerage, your dollar volume last year, that sort of stuff. Aviva, you have the screen.
Thanks, Alf. My name's Aviva Kammler. I'm fifth generation San Franciscan. I work at the Sotheby's International Realty office here in the Marina. Last year, my sales were almost 23 million, and I've been in the business about 4 years.
Excellent.
Happy to be here.
Ken?
My name is Ken Bednar. I represent Chase International in Lake Tahoe. Last year's volume was 35 million. I've been in the business of real estate for about 32 years, but general real estate for about 4.
Excellent. Kevin, my apologies.
Hey, Kevin Swanigan with Compass Real Estate out of Beach Street in San Francisco. Been in the business actively for about 4 years. And last year I did just under 7 million volume.
Okay. Mahmoud?
I'm with the Intero Los Altos office, and I've been over 4 years on the business. And then my last year it was over 32 million.
Excellent. David?
Hi, David Hargreaves from W Real Estate in Sonoma County. I'm based out of the Healdsburg office. 2021 was my 3rd year in the business, and I did 37 million. So yeah, thank you for inviting us along.
Selena, you're on mute.
Hi everyone, I'm Selena and I'm with Vanguard Property in San Francisco. I serve San Francisco and Peninsula area, and this is my 4th year in the Bay Area. And last year I did almost 35 million.
Lisa, you're on mute.
Jan Carnazzo with the Grub Company in Oakland. Last year was my 2nd year in this business, and I did over 12 million.
Excellent. Ian?
Thank you, Alf, and thanks, LuxeSF, for inviting me here today. It's definitely a pleasure and an honor to be amongst so many great agents across so many different communities. I look forward to learning today as well as contributing. I want to give a special quick shout out to my mentor and partner, Corey McGuire. I wouldn't be here loving what I do every day if it wasn't for your wisdom. You're a legend. Thank you. I'm proud to represent Corcoran Global Living in Sebastopol, Sonoma County. I've been a full-time agent since January 2020. I specialize where I was born and raised, basically in Sonoma County. Thanks.
Okay. Bailey, you're on mute.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bailey. I'm with Compass and Carmel. I've been in the business about 3 years. I focus pretty much all over Monterey County, and I did about 17 million last year.
Excellent. Lo?
Morning, everyone. My name is Lovan Chentdy. I'm representing Engel & Volkers, San Francisco. I've been in real estate for about 2 years, but I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary with Engel & Volkers. I specialize in working in the city, particularly luxury condos, but I also have fanned out throughout the city as well as down the peninsula.
Okay. Brandon, you're the better looking half of the Gummo brothers. Go ahead.
Hey, all right, I'm Brandon Gummo. We're representing Coldwell Banker Los Gatos. We got my brother Nick, a business partner, right here in the chat. Shout out to Nick. He just got married last weekend. So
congratulations.
So proud of him. We've been in the business just about 3 years. In 2021, we did just under 50 million. And we're serving a majority of the South Bay area, Silicon Valley, born and raised here.
Nick, anything to add?
No, we're just happy to be here. Thank you all for inviting us to LuxeSF.
Excellent. All right, so I've got a general question to the group. Whoever wants to dive in on this and jump in quickly is fine by me. I just want to get a sort of an assessment of the Bay Area real estate market today. at this snapshot moment? Understanding that you're in different parts of the Bay Area, sort of the 9-county area, but what's the market feeling like to you today in this sort of this crazy time? How are you viewing it? Who wants to kick me off? Who wants to start? Somebody.
I will, Alf. I would say that the Bay Area real estate market, particularly in San Francisco, is softening a bit. We're seeing a lot more inventory. I think it's 32% from where we were last year. So that's a big increase. So buyers have a lot more options right now, particularly condo buyers, you know, things that are not single family homes that everyone is rushing towards. So we're seeing a bunch of softening compared to the past 2 years, I would say.
Anybody else?
Yeah, David Hargreaves said, I'd say
David.
certainly in Sonoma County, things have definitely cooled off. We're seeing a lot fewer offer deadlines being set, a lot fewer sort of multiple offers. I think one of the things which has changed the sort of the dynamics of this market a little bit is the recent ban on vacation rentals across the year. There's a moratorium for a year now, and that's definitely driven quite a few sales, certainly over the past couple of years. So that's had an impact for sure.
Ken, what are you seeing in Tahoe?
Tahoe market's becoming more normal, which is a good thing. Inventory has increased about 50%, but it's still at an all-time low. We have 47 on the Nevada side and 130, 140 on the South Lake Tahoe, California side.
Okay. Brandon and Nick, what are you noticing in your region?
Go ahead, Nick.
So I think particularly in the South Bay, you know, the norm in January, February, call it, is, you know, multiple offers, offer deadlines. You're not seeing that anymore. You know, what you're seeing now is, you know, it's becoming a quote unquote normalized market is what I'm hearing from, you know, the agents who have been in the business for 20 years. And that's really all the information we have to rely on, you know, because we've only been in it sub 5 years for all of us. And so we can only go based on historical graphs, trends, charts, et cetera. And what we're seeing is days on market is becoming, you know, 20 to 30, that's new normal. And I think the biggest thing is setting sellers' expectations, you know, that this is what's going to happen. This is the normal. And then they say, well, you know, just a month ago, my neighbor's house closed for, you know, 2 million. Well, that's not the current market anymore. You know, there's 5 other houses we're competing with. So things are softening.
We've been in a bubble, folks, since 2020. There's no question about that. Has the bubble burst, or have we not? Is there more stabilization coming? Are there bad days ahead, or are we okay through the balance of the year?
I think that we'll say it's from bubbles, yeah, but it's getting the normal real estate life because of the stock market, because that never been that much the gaining, like over maybe 20%, 25% that's gained. And because of that one, most of the where I am in Santa Clara County, tech people who was on the tech companies, they were just exchanging their stock market and buying the real estate. And when they started in pandemic working from the home, they decided to get larger and bigger home, bigger rooms. So I think real estate get really high on the price side. And right now it is getting the normal because of the inflation and because of this stock markets, although well, not say maybe they lost around 20% or 15%. So it is normalizing that it's getting the normal price range right now in Santa Clara County area.
Let me go around the room. Start with you, Kevin. On a scale of 1 to 10, how optimistic are you about the balance of the year? We've got 6 more months to go. 10, very optimistic. 1, you're in your cups.
I personally would say about a 6 or a 7. I think the main thing we all have to remember is that coming into the pandemic, we started going 120 miles an hour with this real estate market. And so now that we're tapering off, instead of going 120, we're doing 80. Well, 80 miles an hour isn't slow.
It's still fast.
It's still moving, but we're just not quite moving like we were. So I kind of agree that things are just normalizing more than anything right now.
Will you make more money this year? Let me rephrase. Will you do more volume this year, 22, than you did in 21? Estimated.
I'll probably do about the same or slightly more.
Got it. Ken, same question quickly to you. Scale of 1 to 10, how optimistic are you?
You know, because
I lost you, Ken. I'll come back. Aviva? Ken, we've lost you. We'll come back to you. Aviva, scale of 1 to 10.
I'm pretty optimistic. I agree with Kevin. I think a 6 or a 7, the clients that have been with me for years who are really looking for, they have something specific, they're still there. And so now we have the opportunity to get them a better deal, get them their dream home, all that. And I think that's really there if you are, working with your clients day in and day out.
Will you do better this year in 22 versus 21 volume?
That's the goal. Hope so.
That's not the question I asked.
I think so. I'm not quite there yet, but hopefully I'll surpass
But
that.
it's looking good.
Yeah.
Lisa, same question to you. Scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, I would say an 8. I'm an optimist. And I think as for how I'm going to do this year, I hope I do better, but I can't say for sure. And I'm just going to go with my optimistic attitude and just say, yes, I am.
Okay. Selena, you're on mute.
I think actually the first half of the year this year, because I had a rocky start of the year, I already, for the same time being compared to last year, I already doubled the same time last year because I had a rocky start of the year. But since the interest rate change, and right now I went to the open house last 2 weekends, I got shocked. I have 2 condo listings and there's 2 people came to my open house. And then I went to a single family listings and there's 10 people. So I was trying to, being in the real estate for 4 years in the Bay Area, I never seen such a huge change. So I'm just trying to adjust to see what should I do to adapt into this new norm. And so I definitely being optimistic, but also I figure this year I do have more buyer clients than last year. Last year, I do have more seller clients. So definitely I'm encouraging my buyer clients, and definitely I think I need to give more education and care to the buyer clients right now.
Will you do better this year in 22 than versus 21?
In the first 6 months.
That's a yes.
Yes.
Okay, David, same question.
Yeah, I'd say probably a 7. I'm reasonably optimistic. I think so much of our market in Sonoma County has been driven by people who've work in San Francisco, work in the Bay Area with their sort of new work flexibility. And there's so many people who are now able to sort of live up here and then just go into San Francisco, 1-2 days a week. And also I think if you think about affordability of houses, then it's sort of combination of the financing costs, median home prices and salaries. And so many of the homes up here are being purchased by people on Bay Area salaries, but with Sonoma County median house prices. So I think, for a lot of the buyers, that they're actually still affordable, particularly at the higher end.
You do better in 22 versus 21? Definitely. Mahmoud?
Yes, I'm optimistic. I think it's 7 to 8. So market that it is, I'm telling that for my client that it is smart people's market right now, because most of the people, they being kind of scared about the rate and then what's going on the market. And then for them, if they want to be in safe area, that the best area to be, it is real estate, to be in safe area, to save their money, what they have it. And then I'm not afraid about the rate can be changed in 1 year, 2 years, you can refinance it, which we are trying to tell our clients. But before in 2020 in Sunnyvale, like in my area, we're almost giving 700, even sometimes $1 million over asking price to get the house. Instead of that one in the prime, you are saving, sorry?
Still,
but it's not now, not now. It's adjusted. And now that from that prime money, you are ahead, you are not paying that one. Maybe you are gonna pay a little 200, 300, maybe 500 extra dollar on your mortgage payment monthly, but you save maybe 700, 600 on the prime payment. And then compare the last year to this year, 6 months, I'm doing better. And then hopefully my goal is past my last year, what I did, make over the no one.
Nick and Brandon, who wants to speak?
I'll go ahead. Right now, I think I can speak on behalf of Nick as well. I think it's about a 7 to 8, specifically in the Silicon Valley. We're in our own bubble in a sense. I think right now for us agents, we really need to hone in on setting our expectations for our clients properly. And of course, when listing a house, a lot more negotiations are going to start coming into play for not to sit on the market. We sold a little over 100 homes so far, and we've doubled our volume year over year. we just had our first price reduction ever on a house. So it was a very interesting thing to do, but you have to reset your clients' expectations. As of right now, we're on track to do greater than what we did last year. So we're happy for that.
Lo?
Yes, I'm optimistic as well. I would say I would rate it about a 7 or 8 as well. I think that there's opportunities in every market. There's not a bad market. I think we are starting to stabilize a bit, but that also comes with a lot of opportunities as far as, cash buyers. It's a great chance to come in now and put an offer all cash, and get a property under asking or at asking that you weren't getting that a couple months before. International buyers where the currency works out for them. There's people that still need to relocate. There's people that have families that are trying to expand. So there's still opportunities, whether it's on the buy side. And then on the sell side, it's just having those conversations and setting expectations. So they're not waiting longer and having longer days on market.
Will you do better this year?
Definitely.
Bailey, you're on mute.
I'm pretty much the same as everyone else. I'm aligned with a 7. I'm definitely an optimistic person. Obviously, the market shifted. The days of the sellers getting everything and more that they wanted are gone. The free rent backs, pretty much anything that they would want, they could get. So again, just setting expectations with sellers, I think they can still get a great price for their home. It's just going to take longer and it's not going to get the crazy money that they used to get. In terms of where I'm at compared to last year, similar to Selena, I had a really big first quarter. So I'm almost to where I did all of last year. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay. Ian, quickly.
Thank you. Yeah, similar to David's market in Hillsburg here in West Sonoma County, we still have a high demand for folks coming from the Bay Area wanting a little slice of hobby vineyard or country in their lives. So we've seen a really, really good start first half of the year. I think the market is going to shift for sure. It is shifting and we just adapt. So I'm very, very optimistic. I think it's going to be a great year. I'm no doubt it's going to be better than last year. We just have to make some changes. Yeah.
Very quickly, because we're chewing up time here. There's an old saying, when there's anguish or agita on the streets, buy real estate. The question I would throw to the group, are there any spectacular low-hanging fruit opportunities out there right now? In every downturn, there's always an opportunity for the smart person. Anything out there that you could identify?
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead. Who was that first? Brandon?
That was Nick.
Nick, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so I think the low-hanging fruit are now developers, right? Because we're seeing price reductions, price hits. Now's the time where you go in and you call the agent because I think a lot of us know negotiations start over the phone, right? Talking to the agent verbally, and then you get to the contract period. And so it's making that call saying, hey, would you take this price? Kind of feel them out, see where the seller's expectations are, and then you go in with the developer. Maybe it's a tear down developer, new construction developer, or it's just a fix and flipper, right? That's where the low hanging fruit is right now, because you can get those great prices because a lot of consumers or sellers, they think prices are falling. And so they think, okay, well, maybe I can, beat everybody else out and just sell my house now and get out before the quote unquote recession comes. And so.
Okay. Selena, you had a comment?
Yes, actually, I had 2 clients was always thinking to sell their property. They either inherited their property from their parents or they own this property for decades. So by the time they bought the property, it was like extremely cheap price. And right now they either wanted to downsize there or move to even modern home or bigger size or better homes. So I was trying to reach out to them. I feel like it's the time for them to sell their property. Maybe they cannot sell at the top price as they see last year, but also they can make a profit. But this is the best timing for them to move to a better house because they can purchase a new home with a much lower price. But in that way, they're actually saving money. They're making money by saving money. So I feel like that's an approach that I will talk to the sellers, like who owns a house for a long time and also they wanted to upgrade to another house.
Anybody else on low-hanging fruit?
Like Nick was saying too, I mentioned that we just had a price reduction. We also just sold a property that was completely remodeled. I think that having newer remodeled listings sell very quickly still. We just sold it for $200,000 over list price 2 days ago. So I think low hanging fruit is remodeled homes. If you can get your hands on it, great.
And I think if it is, well,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Mahmoud. Mhm.
Yeah, that I'm thinking that if that the seller being realistic, they're gonna still get the top dollar for their listing data for their house, but they should be realistic on this market. Like, I mean, that it is not 2020 market or 2021 market anymore, but still they're gonna get top dollar for their houses.
Okay. All of you are sort of in the 3 to 5 year mark in your careers in sort of residential real estate. You came in at a sort of an interesting time. Majority of you came in sort of around COVID or just prior to COVID. So you came in at an unusual period of time to enter the business. Are there any long-term ramifications, do you think, by virtue of when you came in? Has the business changed as a result of you coming in during COVID times or doing the bulk of your business during COVID times?
Yes, I'd say COVID has had a significant impact on the market and the economy overall, for sure. In terms of conducting business, I'm using Zoom a lot more with clients. I have clients that want to FaceTime me. Very often they'll come and just, if I have a listing, they give me their key and that's the only time I see them. I think it's all about adapting, and maybe there's less face-to-face interactions, but we have plenty of tools at our disposal as far as virtual tools, doing virtual tours. There's a lot of options. So I think with anything, you have to continue to adapt.
Anybody else?
Sure, I'm sure I'm not alone in saying, actually, I love not having the client in my car. So that's definitely something that sort of stopped during COVID. And then also, I mean, I do a lot of, because a lot of buyers are sort of remote in the Bay Area or elsewhere. Actually just using video a ton more, and creating sort of preview videos, which when you've got multiple buyers all looking the same thing, it's also a really effective way to scale. So that's been super impactful for me.
Anybody else?
Quickly. I think especially on now that we're going into a more of a balanced market, I think when we were representing sellers, it was very easy to sell a house. You didn't have to do much to sell. So I know for me, like I have to hone in even more on my skills of, really knowing and being confident in the product and the house that I'm selling and knowing everything about it, every comp. Whereas before you didn't have to know as much because things were just flying.
I'm thinking like that for the this market, right? Yeah, right now it is about like we're not meeting face to face, but our business is with the people, like talking with the people and then meeting with the people. We need to convince each other. But I think in the future it's going to be changing, and I prefer meet with the people because we are making decision in their life, or we are making decision together in their life. That is a big decision, like either
you said you think it'll change in the future. Change to what?
We are gonna come back like the meeting with the people, not online meetings anymore, because people doesn't like that much online meetings. Like they want to be interaction with you because you are making big decision for their life, and it's gonna change. People's gonna used to COVID. Right now, everybody was afraid of COVID, even just come to close. Now that is, I think is 1 or 2 years that people is gonna be kind of, it's regular flu stuff, and then we are gonna come to use it. If not, that agent is gonna lose their job.
I have a lot of clients who is millennials who works in tech, especially in the Bay Area. And whenever I meet them for the first time, I propose to them, do you guys want to meet for a coffee, or you guys want to come to my office, or you guys wanted to do a Zoom meeting? Majority of them actually choose to do a Zoom meeting. And then I will prepare a presentation. Actually, ever since COVID, I will pull out the market stats and everything. They actually feel it's very informative, and they actually learn a lot from the Zoom meeting with the presentation and everything. They actually feel, they actually get educated from not only somebody asking them, okay, what do you want? Or what is your budget? And what are you looking for? Instead, they actually feel wow, somebody actually educated me today. I actually learned something new today. And I feel like today's buyer, they are so smart and they do so much research about the market before they reach out to an agent. So you have to approach to them like so much more prepared than an agent before. So I definitely think COVID actually allow us to educate ourselves, to improve ourselves in a way that using technology to, you know, be a better agent as well. Yeah.
I want to throw a premise to the group. The reason I'm fascinated by you all is that you're new to the business. So you come in with fresh eyes, as distinct from a lot of people on this call today, top producers who have been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years, who do business their way. It's the same way. It's the ritualistic way. I want to understand if you're doing something different or if you're seeing things through different eyes. Are you just mimicking what your mentors have told you? Or are you breaking new ground? And to put it bluntly, are you bringing a new perspective to the business? What are you doing differently that the older generation or your mentors are not doing? And let's be honest about this.
I would say it's a little bit of a combination of both. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to some degree. So there's things that you're still doing that mentors have taught us to do. It's all about staying in front of people, but I think tech has made its way within the industry to where now we have to upgrade a presence of online and how we use tech to not only service our clients, but stay in front of our clients.
And also, I think everybody, before we become a realtor, we have different backgrounds and we were probably have another job. Like, for example, me, myself, before I was a realtor, I have my own marketing company. I was a video producer. So I combined my previous experience into my real estate. And when I see the videos of previous agent, showing a property just with music and boring, people gets bored just looking at properties with video, with music background. So
Right.
what I did when COVID happened, people don't go tour properties anymore. So I just producing like very exciting videos, not only showing the neighborhoods, but have voiceovers. So really, attracting people's attention by showing my videos and selling the houses online. And then sharing through social media. And I find out when I go to listing appointment later on, just by showing my past videos, I can get the listings. I don't have to say that much.
Let me put you all on the spot. Aviva, going to start with you. How are you differing from the older generation in real estate? You personally?
Yeah, I think I use a lot of social media, particularly Instagram. I'm trying to demystify this process of what is buying a house, what is a mortgage, what's a down payment, what's closing costs, right? So that people who I am friends with in an authentic way can gain an understanding, and then I become the expert, right? I go to weddings and someone's like, that's that real estate rock star I follow on Instagram, right? So it's teaching people in an authentic way so that when you show up to an appointment, the same person they saw online is the same person they're meeting. And I think that's different from a lot of older agents who want to only showcase real estate and not their lives. Like, we're human, right? And this is our business, but this is also our life, and interacting in a real, genuine way, I think is a little different. Not to say that they're not genuine or authentic. It's just
I get it.
Present ourselves.
Elisa, same question.
So I think I have a background in news. I used to be a news anchor and reporter for KPIX in San Francisco. So I use a lot of social media, and I just sort of use my skills that I learned from being a reporter and an anchor to make videos and post those online so people really get a chance to know who I am, what I care about, and how much I care about the community.
Does your celebrity help you? Celebrity status help you?
No.
Does it?
No.
That's interesting.
I don't think so. People recognize my name definitely from the news, and I still anchor on Sunday mornings on KCBS radio. I don't think so, but I think what goes along with being in the news is like your reputation means everything. And I'm all about facts, and I'm very straightforward, and I just take all of that and bring that to my real estate business.
Ian, same question. You're on mute.
I really focus a lot on just building relationships and letting everything flow from there at the core. And I know that sounds cheesy and it's old school, but it really is a good orientation for me, and it seems to work naturally. Then I build relationships and the business really does flow from there. And I enjoy what I do, and I think that translates. So it's a little bit more old school approach for me.
And the most effective way for you to build relationships is how? Give me one example.
Face-to-face meetings anytime I can, handwritten notes, those go a long way. I think doing things that I love naturally and then meeting people through those things, so it's a really natural process, really feels right. And it's amazing what can happen out of just, a natural lunch meeting. So
Bailey,
thanks.
You're on mute.
Yeah, similar to what the group's saying, as well as what Ian said. So obviously social media, I think, some of the longtime agents are kind of late to the game on that side. And for me, I'm not big on like doing mass mailing, all these email blasts. I think people get super overwhelmed. It's not personable. So I find that I do a lot better just building one-on-one relationships with people, whether that's going to different events within the community. So, and also I want to find clients that are a fit for me just as much as I'm a fit for them. I think it's important to know that I'm not going to be a fit for everyone. There's a ton of realtors out there, and I definitely want clients that I'm a fit for and they're a fit for me.
Bailey, how do you know if they're not a fit for you? Quickly.
I think after going through expectations of what the process looks like, and if they, aren't clear on that process, or they're not, understanding that they need a pre-approval, or, minding within my timelines or being respectful, then they're just not going to be a fit.
Lo?
Yeah, again, similar to what people have said, technology, I think, is very different from our generation and what we utilize. I think also I'm very hands-on. I have my fingerprint on every stage of my listings, my open houses. I host all of them as opposed to have somebody else host them. I take a lot of pride in being reliable. I had a career in finance before, where I dealt with very high net worth clients that had a lot of expectations. So I'm used to working under pressure and giving results and making sure that I'm always available when they need me.
I want to go around the room again very quickly. We're at the 20-minute mark. We've got a ton of stuff to go through. Kevin, start with you. If there was one marketing tool that you could not live without, just one, what would it be?
Social media right now.
Social media. Ken?
Same, social media.
Social media. Aviva?
Social media and my Theo.
And my Theo. By the way, Kevin, Ken, and Aviva, you're sure it's social media, or you're not just saying that because it's the cool thing to say?
No, I think that's how a lot of clients find us and connect with us in a real, authentic way to make the call, right?
All right. And I'm seeing the other two heads nod. Yes?
Agreed.
Alf, let me give you an example. So we have 33 social media Facebook pages for 33 different communities with a following of about 100,000 people per month. That would have never happened years ago.
Okay. Lisa, what is it for you? The one thing you can't live without?
I would have to say the same thing as social media.
Selena, you're on mute.
Social media, same thing.
David?
It's not social media.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, and just because that's just not me. I'm not a huge fan of social media.
What is it for you?
So for me, it's my website. I've built a website and a blog that has got 40,000 views a month. My background is running a digital marketing agency. So I've figured out SEO. So I've got a blog that I write, once a week. I get a newsletter. Like last year, I did 15 million off my website. This year, I'll do more than that. So now, to me, my focus is always building a sort of business around content. And building a lead generation machine using the website and using that to scale the business.
Okay. By the way, David, because of your accent, do they not believe you? Do they not let me rephrase that. Do they not think that you know the market?
It definitely works to my advantage. I would be lying if I said it didn't. But I like to think a little bit of is what I do as well. But yeah.
Okay. Mahmoud, the one tool for you?
I will still use personal meetings. I want to give you one data. I met in person with the 18 people. I made this one in purpose, and I did 18 Zoom meeting on the social media. And I convinced 16 of them work with me with the personal meeting, and the social media, only 4 of them I convinced they work with me. So yes, the people still prefer the meeting face to face when the personal connection, that which is important in our business.
Okay, Brandon and Nick, who's going to respond?
I'll respond this time. Of course, social media, that's a given amongst this crew. It's going to go a far way for you. But I truly think that referrals are going to be the biggest thing for your business. You know, we have been 90% referral for last year, and it's just great to have a client refer somebody to you, and they're usually like-minded towards you. And so very easy people to work with if they're being referred to you.
And these are client referrals, not agent referrals. These are pure client referrals.
Right.
Lo, the one tool?
Yeah, I would say my brand that I developed for myself. I was able to streamline it through various social media platforms, and clients have found me that way. It was something I worked on before I even became an agent and started producing. I really worked and set time to become List with Lo, and it's been helping me out ever since.
Okay, Bailey?
I'm going to say social media. I found that the people that find me on there end up being pretty like-minded and great clients.
Okay, Ian?
You know, phone calls. We make a lot of phone calls, and we have a lot of success with our phone call list. Definitely social media and our website, but I still think it's important to just get on the phone. So marketing wise, you know, we make a lot of phone calls and have a lot of success.
Who are you calling, Ian?
Pipeline clients, contacts, people that we met that week, follow-ups, just as many people as possible.
Ian, when I call somebody, I get voicemail. What are you doing differently that you don't get voicemail?
You know, we leave a lot of voicemails. We follow up with a little email if we have the email, but I think just that touch or sometimes a text goes a long way. People really respond well to it, even past clients. And the next thing you know, referral. So yeah, like Brandon said, referrals really are important too, a huge part of our business. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to get into you guys. We've got 15, 20 minutes left here. I want to talk about you personally. I want to get inside your head. Bailey, going to start with you.
I want to add something there. I'm sorry.
Please.
Yeah, when I get any voicemail or their voicemail, I do my personal video and send them as a text message. And then, so now I learn this one from the Yes Master coaching from the Kevin Ward. I learned from them, that one from him. And I get 98 to 99% respond back to they call me or they will email me.
Wait, how long is the video, Mahmoud?
Oh, it is like 20 second, 30 second.
And what does it say quickly?
No, Kevin Ward, that the coaching, no, he taught me that make the personal video and send it that person who is in the voicemail. I cannot reach them. So what I do, I just say, hey, it's me, Mahmoud Saltum from Internal Los Altos office. I try to reach out to you to blah, blah, blah. And then I send that video to them. And then 99% they will respond that video. If you send a text message, they are not responding. I mean, yeah, the Kevin Ward, he helped me a lot. And then it was I'll say like 99% people are responding back to me.
All right, hold that thought. I just got a question on text. Text versus phone call, text versus email. Which one is it for you, Aviva? Which is more effective?
I think it depends on the client, right? It's very much.
But generally speaking.
Texting, because that's what most of my clients are. They're
Lisa?
Texting.
Ian?
Phone call.
Phone call. Bailey?
Texting for quick things and calling for important.
Selena, you're on mute.
I will do text and call.
You're 50-50. Ken?
Texting, call, and follow up with an email.
David?
Yeah, same as that. Text, call, email.
Lo?
For me, it's mostly email. I have clients that are very busy at work, and a lot of times they like if I streamline an email all together with our updates in one email.
And Mahmoud, we know you, and Brandon and Nick, what's it for you guys?
It depends, you know, typically text, but a lot of calls, you know, if it's more serious, like Bailey was saying.
All right. Bailey, when did you get into the business? You all came from other careers. Bailey?
Yeah. I was in tech prior to this, and I was working 24/7, and I got to the point where I said, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to work for myself. I grew up with my mom being in the mortgage business, so I saw her build her career. I wanted a career where I could still help people. I could run my own business, and I didn't have a cap on how successful I could be.
David, what was it for you? David?
Oh, sorry. Yes, for me, it was really having a mechanism for moving up to Healdsburg. So I sold my business, digital marketing business, and then thought, well, I'm not going to sit around doing nothing. So I thought, if I live in Healdsburg, maybe I could do real estate. I had a few properties, so that's really it was really driven by lifestyle, thinking it would be an easy life, but I've actually never worked harder. So.
Which poses the question. Start with you, Kevin. Did you know what this business was all about, or were you entering on a wing and a prayer?
Definitely a wing and a prayer. I had no idea what I was really getting into, but I came in with zero expectations, and I told myself I was ready for the ride, regardless of what was going to come.
So if you didn't know, why did you come into the business?
Always fascinated with real estate. And also similar to Bailey, I just wanted freedom, and not so much as the freedom of time, but freedom of how much money I made, freedom of setting my own schedule, that kind of freedom. And
right. So let me go around the room. Start with you, Aviva. Though, if there was one primary motivation for why you entered the business, it would be what?
I think mostly it's what Kevin and Bailey said. Basically, there's no cap on what I can do. It's a direct correlation of how hard I work. And to me, that's like the best type of job you could have.
Lisa?
I'd say my family, my great-grandfather started a business in real estate, so I always knew eventually I'd get out of news and get into real estate. I mean, my motivation is I love solving people's problems, and people call me like the local Yelp here, so I now can use my skills to help them.
Ian?
Well, as my mentor would say, real estate is a brilliant twister game of variables that really does encourage us to be our best selves or risk a twist or collapse. I love design, architecture, the many nuances involved when studying a property, but most of all, the human personality and the complexities of navigating your way through that, and then how you can grow from that really is very, very interesting to me, and it's a big motivator.
Lo, what was it for you?
Well, besides the schedule, which I think is wonderful, I had a very high stress finance job in New York City before, where I could barely even have a bathroom break uninterrupted. So I was looking for something where I could really enjoy California and my lifestyle out here. But on top of that, I know that I also have my own personal goals that I have for real estate as well as family members. So I love the idea that I can learn and do it firsthand with myself and help out my friends and family too.
Going to answer this individually. Nick, what was it for you?
So between Brandon and I, our extended family, family grew up doing property management, development, real estate sales. And, we both graduated college at a similar time. And so naturally we said, we do everything together. The family knows real estate. Let's get into real estate.
Brandon?
Yeah, same thing. It's family. Our family's been here forever, and I won't do anything without my brother. So
here's the question. What's it like working with your brother? Do you punch each other out?
You have to. You have to all the time. Yeah, you always have to be talking about. Go ahead, Nick.
Nick, go ahead.
They love it because, with a lot of people, there's a barrier that you can't break down. We don't have a barrier. If he screws something up, I'm calling you, right? I'm going to call you and say it directly as it is. Things are a lot more efficient because you can say what's on your mind. You don't have to put everything nicely. You can really say it as it is.
What is it for you? What was it for you, Ken?
Yeah, same thing. I can call him up. I'm going to call him right after this video and talk. Hey, I don't know if I like what you said there, kind of thing. So
gotcha.
We're open books.
Ken, what was it for you? Ken Bednar.
Once real estate gets in your veins, you can't get it out. And being a developer, it was just a natural move to go into real estate.
Mahmoud?
So my background is education. That in education you help the people. Which is most I was excited to helping people, and I was working a lot. I said what the other people said. Let me work for myself, and in the same time I can help my community and I help my personal circle.
Selena?
I am the only one in my family doing real estate, and I feel like I find my passion in real estate. And every time I find a dream home, and also I'm an immigrant, and whenever I feel like I help people to achieve their American dream, I feel the fulfillment.
Very good. Yeah. Is the business still exciting to you guys?
Yes.
Yes? You haven't got jaded yet.
Yes.
You'll get the scar tissue. Okay. Most satisfying moment if you've had one? Anybody? Really satisfying moment.
I would say
Lovan?
my most satisfying moment was going for my first listing presentation, and I was competing with a bunch of other seasoned agents that were known for working in the building. And it was just this natural high when I was able to leave the presentation, and I was waiting a day or two till she got back for me. And it was just a great feeling to know that I secured that, and then it steamrolled into numerous other listings from that.
That was a big win.
Yes.
Who else?
I think
Come on,
it's
folks.
similar to,
Mahmoud.
Yeah, so that's for me that I had a new couple, they just get married for a week, and then we met, they want to buy a house. I met in their wedding, by the way. So, and when we get for them house like that, that was, I think, one of the most, we'll say, happiest time for my life, because they were very happy. They were hugging me like they're immigrant. They came here for technology company, and they were like hugging me like they love me, kind of their own parents. That was one of the moments that I never forget. I was very happy for them that they get to their house.
Got somebody off there a moment ago. Go ahead, Nick.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I like winning, when it goes back to the market 2 years ago, right? Just when COVID started, then, a year into COVID, there was, 20, 30 offers on things. I didn't want to be the guy who was always delivering bad news, saying, I'm sorry, we didn't get the house, right? I liked winning. And so, there'd be 20, 30 offers and we would win. Of course, we were at the time, likely paying a premium, or when we're dealing with the seller side, they set a number that they want, and we'll blow that number out of the water. And so that was just a really good feeling, going back to them saying, look, here's the contract. This is what you asked for. This is what you get.
Yeah, and during that 2-year mark too, where the market was crazy, 30 offers, we actually had a client that proposed to his girlfriend inside of a house. That house is about to have 30 offers on it. Guess what we did? We came in a preemptive, strong offer. They got the house. So that was, think of that.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Let me flip the other way. The biggest disappointment or the biggest challenge you've faced, one that's really hurt anybody. Go ahead, Mahmoud. Mahmoud first. Go ahead.
So yeah, we write an offer on the Sunnyvale property. It was listed for 2.650, and we gave the cash, all cash, 3.430, and we missed that one. And then it was really kind of over. Even we give almost over asking price $1 million, and we give the cash. That was really. And then my client, she was pregnant. They were expecting baby. Which is kind of been disappointed.
That would make me cry. I cut somebody off. Who was that? Somebody else had a
me. I was saying that I had one client who withdrew a property, and it was really harsh. And I'm sure every agent's been through this, because I told them exactly what they need to do, where they need to price it, how to stage it. We got all these feedback being like, it's ugly, it's horribly staged, all that stuff. They listed it later with another agent at a lower price, staged it, painted, everything I told them to do. So I feel like everyone has to go through it, but it's a tough lesson to learn when you're in it. And so I've realized that if we're not on the same page from the get, then they're not my client, like Bailey said.
I was going to ask you, Aviva, why did that go wrong for you? What did you learn from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, you want to put your time in a way that it's going to make a return, that it's going to be valued, right? And if your client is from the beginning not on the same page with you, I think it's a philosophy type of situation. You can't change them, and that's not our job, right? It's to facilitate a sale and help them move on to the next chapter. And so recognizing that if it doesn't feel right from the beginning, it's probably not, and that there are a lot of other fish in the sea.
All right, folks, we're at the 5-minute mark here. I'm going to go around the whole room again, and I'm trying to get everybody in here and equal air time. 2 questions. These are the final 2 questions. If there was a dream listing that you had to have, that you really got your heart set on, what would that listing be? Think for a second. And the second question is, you're all aggressive, competitive, successful. Your realtor's on the rise. You're the rising stars. Where do you see yourself in just sort of headline terms in 5 years? What do you look like in 5 years as a professional? Ken, starting with you.
Well, we see it as a lead generation in Tahoe. We really focus on a lead generation source. And by doing it, it's a destination market. Our ultimate listing is really any listing on the Nevada side.
Listing range?
They start at $1 million, but It's $1 million to 10 million.
All right, stay there, and then I'll come back to you on the second question, the final question, 5 years out. Kevin?
Yeah, my dream listing would be, I don't know, high-end penthouse somewhere in the city.
Mahmoud?
I want to be dream listing for the Los Altos and then Los Gatos area, which is.
Price range?
It is here. It's our price range is there's nothing under the 3 to 4 million.
Okay. David, dream?
Yeah, probably dream listing is like the most expensive house in downtown Healdsburg, which I actually got into the presentation for, but I got picked at the post. So I mean, I was pleased to have got into the running, because certainly one of the challenges for me was moving to a place where I literally knew nobody and setting up in real estate. So
how much was it?
Yeah.
How much was it, David?
Sold for 4.2.
Thank you. Selena?
I'm never scared of dream big. So I will say my dream listing will be 20 million.
Where?
Somewhere in San Francisco.
How? Single family, penthouse, high rise?
Maybe a modern house has a dynamic ocean view.
Gotcha. Lisa?
A dream listing would be in Piedmont, which is where I grew up. And, anything over $5 million.
Ian?
I feel like I've had a few of those already. Truly, the magic that happens is such a great thing to be a part of with these. If I had to pick one, I would say listing a friend's property, a really cool property, having it go wildly over ask to the right buyer, just having that satisfaction. Yeah.
Bailey?
Oh, sorry. My dream listing would be a property in Carmel on Scenic, anywhere from 10 to 20 million. So.
Well, you guys dream well. I like this low. Low?
For me, it would be probably the penthouse in my own building. I love the idea of just taking the elevator to work. It'd be right here.
What would that list at?
Probably around 4 million.
Okay. Brandon, I'm going to start with you first. Do you separately from Nick?
Yeah, it's funny you asked. Right now, we're currently undergoing negotiations for a $36 million listing. So we're hoping we can get that one. We're really close with the seller. So that would be our dream listing to get. But something that we don't have in mind, my neighbor's house. I'd love to sell my neighbor's houses in the range of 2 to 4.5 million.
Brandon, where is that $36 million property? What region?
That's Portola Valley, the peninsula.
Interesting. Nick, what's it for you? Dream?
I think a dream would be, something similar to Brand and I, we follow a lot of people on Instagram and guys such as the Altman brothers, right? They have a lot of cool pictures, a lot of cool houses they sell, something ultra modern, just with a coastal view, 360-degree views. I think that would be a dream listing.
Interesting. I was just looking at the real trend numbers. The Altman brothers numbers are real, according to the real trend numbers that came out last week. Final question, Aviva, quickly, 5 years, what do you look like?
I look like the agents that are really big that get every huge $20 million listing in Marin and the north side of San Francisco. That's
perfect. Lisa?
Same thing. I'm the one getting all the big listings and yeah.
Kevin?
Top 1% in the city.
Say again?
Top 1% in the city.
Ken?
100 million in sales.
Mahmoud?
I want to be a person who is looking for the real estate agent in Silicon Valley. They should be appoint me.
If they have to call somebody in Silicon Valley, they call Mahmoud.
Yes.
David?
Probably the leading biggest production in Healdsburg, just really dominating this market. It's a great place.
You own the market. You're
Correct.
Mr. Healdsburg.
Correct.
Selena?
I'll mute. With a big team, and we'll be on the best, what is the real trends? The best.
The real trends is the top 1%.
The top team every year.
Low?
I, of course, would love to be a top agent, but on top of that, I'd love to have my same customers that I'm working with now using me again for their next listing.
Bailey?
I see myself building an awesome team and definitely being within the top 10 realtors in all of Monterey County.
And I'm going to ask Brandon and Nick separately. Nick, what is it for you?
I'd like to hold more of a market share, maybe 10 to 25% here in Santa Clara County.
And Brandon?
Well, speaking of real trends, Nick and I just got number 772 out of 1.6 million realtors. So we just finished top 1%. We're super grateful for that. So we want to hold that position. Ideally, we'd like to be selling about $500 million. If we can do over 400 to 500 million in 5 years, I would be pretty happy with that.
And what did you do? What did you do in 21?
Just under 50.
Okay, it can be done. We have the leading one. I'll talk about that in a second. First of all, I want to thank the panelists. You guys are fantastic. I would list my property with you, all of you. So it's great to be with people who you admire, and I admire you all. I want to thank Rhonda, HSBC, Silicon Valley Magazine, San Francisco Magazine, our sponsors today. A reminder: we will send out the Zoom link or recording link for today's program within the next 48 hours. And in that note, I will have everybody's name, all the panelists' name, and their contact emails as well. So if somebody impressed you today, drop them a note and tell them that you liked what you heard. And I would warn you that on August the 18th, we are releasing the leading 100 list of the top producers in the Bay Area. And this is for real. We get first dibs at the real trends data that comes out well before it's released to the rest of the world. And we go through there and slice it and dice it and get rid of all the stuff and all the people who are exaggerating, and we get a real honest to God list. These are the top performers, the top 100 individuals and the top 100 teams. That'll be released on a Zoom meeting like this on August the 18th. So with that, it is now 12 o'clock. We have money to make. It's been a pleasure. We are adjourned, and thank you, panel. It's been a delight to have you. Farewell, everyone.
Something.
Yes, Mahmoud.
I think that in our business, most of them say that we are working as a team. We had a very strong team to make the people happy. The build team, like your, loan agent, your people that whom you are working. That's one of the which we are gonna touch the people's hearts. Thank you very much, everyone.
And with that, we are adjourned. It's been a pleasure, everybody. Farewell.
Thank you, Al.
And good hunting.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care.